The stories you are about to see are real. The rewards up to $5 million are real. This is Crime Reports and Rewards with Griff Griffin and Dave Michaels, where you stay anonymous, the criminals don't. Crime Stoppers would like to show our appreciation to Corner Lot Towing for helping stop crime in the Middle Georgia region.
The Richmond County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding 5 suspects following an armed robbery late Thursday. Approximately 11 p.m., a 37-year-old victim called in and said he was robbed of his jean shorts, cell phone, and wallet at the corner of Fenwick Street and Tuttle Street. The victim claims he was walking east on Fenwick when he was passed by a gold-in-color 4-door vehicle carrying 5 black males. When the vehicle got to the Fenwick and Tuttle stop sign, it just sat there. As the victim approached the intersection, the back right side door opened and a black male wearing all black jumped out with a handgun and hollered, "Give it up," at which time the victim said, "I don't have anything." Well, whenever the victim said that, the suspect said, "Take off your shorts." And while he was taking off his shorts, the driver exited the vehicle and struck the victim in the back of the head with a handgun. After the victim fell to the ground, the suspects ripped the shorts from his body and fled in an unknown direction. The victim was transported to Georgia Region's Medical Center for a cut above his left eye. According to the incident report, all 5 suspects wore black clothing. The driver and front seat passengers also wore red bandanas over their mouth and nose. Another passenger had a black ski mask over his face. So, if you've watched Crime Reports and Rewards, you've noticed that you can't walk down the street, you can't pull into a Kroger, you can't pull into a Circle K, and you can't pull into the Clarion Suites. You can't. But the thugs can do anything they want. That's because almost no one shares Crime Stoppers' 800-222-TIPS line. Once everybody starts calling in the bad boys and they're taken away, you'll have taken back your streets. Until then, polish up your funeral and hospital visiting shoes because you're going to need them. Mass mobs are taking over. They know you won't share the 800-222-TIPS line or text your tips in to 803-441-8744. They'll continue to attack because you won't call them in. If you want to know why criminals are winning the war on crime, run to the nearest mirror and take a look at the rascal letting them off the hook. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding the younger black male you see on your screen. They say he's using a stolen credit card at the Walmart on Wrightsboro Road and on Deansbridge Road. He used that credit card on August 8th and 9th. If you think you know where this black male, who was last seen driving a small 4-door silver vehicle, may be, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and keep your bank accounts. On 9/24 Wednesday around 5:08 p.m., the Richmond County Sheriff's Office responded to the 1900 block of Morning Drive in reference to a shooting with one person, Darius Montreal Parks, 24 years of age, of the 2400 block of Bream Avenue, being shot. During the investigation, investigators with the Sheriff's Office were able to identify the shooters as Cedric Antoine Williams, 17 years of age of the 1800 block of Formosa Drive. Williams is to be considered armed and dangerous. Williams is being sought, and we think he's been caught on charges of aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. However, there are several other people involved in this shooting, and they may all be armed and are, at this time, on the loose. If you think you know where any of these suspects may be, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office at 706-821-1000, Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and unshot. Richmond County Sheriff's deputies need your help finding a hit-and-run suspect after a high-speed chase that started in Jefferson County. Police say the suspect's car crashed into a tree off Windsor Springs Road, just missing a crowd of people that were not too far away. Witnesses say the suspect opened his door before the vehicle stopped and jumped out, letting the car crash into the trees. Then he ran into the woods. Although deputies converged on the location immediately and searched diligently for quite a while, the suspect is still on the loose. If you think you know who or where this hit-and-run suspect that led 2 counties full of deputies on a high-speed chase may be, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and unrun over. 3 guns were found in Richmond County Public Schools recently. When asked why students bring guns and knives to public school, they say it's so dangerous at school they need to protect themselves. If you've been a long-time viewer of Crime Reports and Rewards, you've seen that almost all mass murders were done in gun-free zones. Almost all schools are still gun-free zones. It's surprising that we protect almost everything in America with guns except our kids. Some kids say it's so dangerous at school they have to bring protection. Maybe if the school offered some protection, the kids wouldn't feel the need to bring their own. If you feel you've become aware of anyone doing anything that could harm our students, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and your children unmurdered. Burke County Sheriff's deputies need your help finding 2 people wanted in connection with the shooting of a 26-year-old male. Darnell Williams is a suspect in the shooting of Mario Jermaine Elam. According to the Burke County Sheriff's Office, deputies said Elam was shot in the left side of his neck and the left side of his body around 9 p.m. Tuesday on Corley Road. Williams left the scene along with his girlfriend, LaTora Shunrika Lewis, in a silver in color 2012 Chevrolet Malibu LS with Georgia State tag number PV3521. That's Papa Victor 3521. Deputies say Williams and Lewis should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. Deputies released a photo of Lewis but said they do not have a photo of Williams. If you think you have any idea where these armed and dangerous fleeing and evading shooters may be, please call the Burke County Sheriff's Office at 706-554-2133. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and unshot. County Sheriff's deputies are asking for your help finding out who pulled an armed robbery on Ellis Street in Augusta. The Richmond County Sheriff's deputies say an Augusta man was robbed at gunpoint while he was riding his bicycle on Ellis Street late Friday at about 11:18 p.m. Deputies were called to the 2100 block of Walton Way to meet with the 57-year-old victim, who told them that he was cycling near the intersection of Ellis Street and Millage Road when he was approached by a male brandishing a silver-in-color handgun. The suspect ordered the victim to give it up, and the victim handed over his wallet containing $80. The suspect fled the scene on foot and was last seen on Ellis Street near Eve Street. He's described as a black male with a low-cut haircut, and he was last seen wearing a black shirt and blue jeans. The suspect is about 5'7" tall and weighs about 110 pounds. If you think you know who or where this black male who has a low-cut haircut and is about 5'7" and about 110 pounds, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and unrobbed. The pictured male and female suspects are wanted for questioning by the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. The female was in possession of a stolen credit card and attempted to make purchases with the card at Walmart on Wrightsboro Road on 9/15/14 at 10:41 a.m. and at Smart Gas on Wrightsboro Road the same day between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. The purchase at Walmart was for a car battery. Anyone with information as to the identity of the pictured male or female are asked to contact the Property Crimes Unit of the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, Investigator Brigandez, at 706-821-1097. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744. where you remain anonymous and keep your bank accounts. Reference to case number 14-24-5320. Richmond County Sheriff's deputies need your help finding two black males who opened fire on two pedestrians during an attempted robbery Saturday just before midnight on Fieldcrest Drive. The attempted robbery victims reported that they were walking on Southfield Drive near Boykin Road when they were approached by two black males. One of the black males asked one of the victims for a cigarette and offered to sell him some pot. When the victims refused and kept walking, one of the black males pulled a silver-in-color revolver on the victims and ordered both victims to the ground. But instead of having a gun stuck upside their head, they ran in both directions. When they met back up, the suspects were in front of them and one of them opened fire on the victims. The witnesses said both black male suspects were last seen running eastbound on Basswood Drive. One of the black male suspects has been described as being about 5 feet 3 inches tall with a slim build. He was last seen wearing a light-colored hooded sweatshirt. The other black male suspect is about 5 feet 9 inches tall and slender. He was last seen wearing camouflage overalls and a black shirt. If you think you know where either one of these armed and dangerous, fleeing and evading black male suspects may be, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and unshot.
And now, this Crime Reports and Rewards, special report.
The Richmond County Sheriff's Office is trying to find out who killed Carol Denise Greggs in 1973. Greggs was a 24-year-old Payne College professor who was planning to leave Augusta to return to her hometown in Calhoun County when she was killed. Police later determined she had been strangled sometime around June 15th. A 2000 newspaper article said only a coroner's request was one of the few remaining documents from the investigation. It stated there was a suspect, but there was insufficient evidence for prosecution. Richmond County homicide investigator Sergeant Paul Godden said that in the 70s there was no centralized record-keeping system, so investigators sometimes kept their case files when they left the department. This doesn't mean that older cases are unsolvable. In 2012, the Sheriff's Office solved the 26-year-old cold case murder of Pauline McCoy by using new technology. One of the Augusta Chronicle readers, named Autumn Leaves, said she hasn't forgotten. It will do this community a lot of good for this murder and the many others that followed in the Southside area of Augusta to be solved. If you can help, please come forward. Carol Denise Gregg should not have died like this. It was disheartening to find out how many cold cases there are. Too many people are getting away with murder. If you can help solve these murders, please do. Carol Denise Gregg's life mattered, and matters not just to their family, friends, but to the community at large. Any caring member of it. I didn't know her, but I was affected by her loss and every other inexplicable murder in my community since. And each one of you is, too, whether you realize it or not. To which Crime Reports and Rewards replied, there are some people who have a thick file as to who did this murder. Because retaliation is so prevalent in Augusta, we suggest you call 800-222-TIPS. Or text your tips to 803-441-8744. So neither the tipster or any of their information will ever get out. Will the murderer be arrested? Probably only if a tipster calls. It's been demonstrated time after time that sometimes killers may very well get away with murder.
I'm Dave Michaels with this week's edition of Spot Crime, where we highlight crimes reported in the CSRA. We've had 53 assaults around the CSRA. They took place on the 1700 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, the 1300 block of Cherry Avenue, the 2300 block of DeVry Street, the 1800 block of Cooney Circle, the 3900 block of Deborah Street, Old Waynesboro Road, Pleasant Home Road at Treburton Trail, 2400 block of Yates Drive, the 2400 block of Peach Orchard Road, the 2400 block of Jumper Drive, the 2600 block of Barclay Street, the 2400 block of Amsterdam Drive, the 700 block of Broad Street, the 2300 block of Heritage Court, Fox Trace Drive, the 2400 block of Southgate Drive, the 2700 block of Margaret Court, the 2100 block of Lumpkin Road, the 600 block of Bransford Road, the 2000 block of First Avenue, the 2100 block of Silverdale Road, Milledgeville Road, the 2300 block of Amsterdam Drive, the 3200 block of Wrightsboro Road, the 100 block of Skinner Road, the 1100 block of Azalea Drive, the 3100 block of River Oak Road, the 2700 block of Smith Drive, the 500 block of Broad Street, the 2100 block of Helpsome McBeam Road, the 400 block of East Boundary Street, the 600 block of Sea Owl Drive, the 3400 block of Wrightsboro Road, the 3100 block of Washington Road, the 2100 block of Bayville Road, the 3700 block of Vera Drive, the 1300 block of Beeman Street, the 3500 block of Camac Drive, the 200 block of East Telfair Street, the 1600 block of McCalkey Street, the 1600 block of the Gordon Highway, the 2500 block of Peach Orchard Road, the 3500 block of Windsor Springs Road, the 2800 block of Deansbridge Road, the 900 block of Molly Pond Road, Bath Peterson Road, the 2900 block of Wellington Street, the 1600 block of McCalkey Street, the 2100 block of 2nd Avenue, the 500 block of Logan's Way, the 3100 block of Peach Orchard Road, the 1500 block of Wooten Road, and the 3500 block of Windsor Springs Road. 30 burglaries around the CSRA. They took place on the 1500 block of McCalkey Street, the 3700 block of Beacon Hill Drive, the 2300 block of Tobacco Road, the 4200 block of James Street, the 2300 block of Allen Avenue, the 2200 block of Rozier Road, the 3500 block of Edgeworth Drive, the 100 block of Milledgeville Road, the 1100 block of Huntington Drive, the 1700 block of Hicks Street, the 1500 block of Bertrand Court, the 2800 block of Ingleside Drive, the 2500 block of Redoubt Circle, the 2900 block of Glen Hills Drive, the 5000 block of Old Waynesboro Road, the 2400 block of Windsor Springs Road, the 2700 block of Ingleside Drive, the 2100 block of Helpsama McBeam Road, the 400 block of Sandbar Ferry Road, the 3900 block of Deborah Street, the 2000 block of Nanmart Court, the 100 block of Watkins Street, the 2500 block of Hanover Street, the 2800 block of Beacon Drive, the 1900 block of Powell Road, the 2900 block of Willis Foreman Road, the 3100 block of Melba Drive, the 1700 block of Rush Drive, the 2900 block of DeHalla Drive, and the 3500 block of Windsor Springs Road. 7 robberies around the CSRA. They took place on the 1200 block of Ellis Street, the 100 block of 4th Street, the 1800 block of Watkins Street, the 3300 block of Wrightsboro Road, the 1700 block of Starnes Street, the 2400 block of Dublin Drive, and Meadowbrook Drive. 2 charged of damage to property on the 2500 block of Cross Creek Road and the 2400 block of Amsterdam Drive. 2 charged of reckless conduct on the 2500 block of Andorra Drive and the 1700 block of Sibley Road. If you know anything about these crimes or any other crimes, call our toll-free tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS or email your tip to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you may remain anonymous and may get a cash reward.
Richmond County Sheriff's deputies and an Augusta Family Dollar need your help finding the black male suspect you see on your screen. Deputies say he pried open the doors of the Family Dollar located at 2310 Milledgeville Road. Then the black male suspect you see on your screen took 5 boxes of Gain detergent and a coat from that Family Dollar on August 31st. Yes, nobody told him he should have stole Tide. Then he pried open the doors again on September 9th and took more items. But deputies say those items were recovered. The sheriff's office reports he's now wanted for second-degree burglary. If Family Dollar or anyone else with this type of door wants to prevent this, all they have to do is block the gap in the door with aluminum plate or any other suitable piece of metal plate that keeps the pry bar from being inserted between the doors. If you think you know who or where this black male burglary suspect may be, please call investigator Rolf Kramer at 706-821-1020. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and keep prices low. Richmond County Sheriff's deputies report on the morning of Sunday, August 24th, 2 male subjects in an older model black and color Ford Explorer were captured on video surveillance driving through the neighborhood in and around the 3100 block of Brindle Drive. That's in the Beverly Heights Drive area. The 2 male subjects were seen backing the Ford Explorer up into the yard at 3112 Brindle Drive and hooking up one utility trailer containing lawn equipment. The two male subjects were then seen leaving 3112 Brindle Drive with the utility trailer and lawn equipment. The vehicle is an older model Ford Explorer, approximately 1997 to 2004 year model, black in color, and will have a trailer hitch on the rear. Anyone with information regarding this case or the identity of the two male subjects are asked to call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office at 706-821-1080, Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and keep your stuff. The Richmond County Sheriff's deputies need your help finding the older white male you see on your screen. He appears to have shoplifted a gas-powered generator from the Tractor Supply store in Martinez. Investigators say the white male you see on your screen entered the store on September 5th, took the generator out of its box, and left the store without rendering proper payment. This white male suspect is medium in height and weight with a receding hairline. He was last seen wearing a red shirt, khaki shorts, and white shoes. If you know who or where this older, balding, white male may be, please call investigator Bert Gates at 706-821-1059, Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to tips at AugustaCrimeStoppers.org or 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and keep your stuff. Epsom police need your help finding the white male suspect you see on your screen. Video captured this white male suspect stealing a golf cart from a Hepzibah McBean home. The unidentified white male, who walks with a limp, was seen limping up the driveway at 1248 Hepzibah McBean Road around 5:30 a.m. on September 2nd and left in the green 2006 E-Z-Go golf cart. The stolen golf cart has a tan roof and cream-colored seats. The front of the cart has a spreader with a set of deer antlers. A rubber deer head is on the rear trailer hitch. If you know who or where this white male suspect that walks with a limp may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and keep your stuff.
You've been watching Crime Reports and Rewards with Griff Griffin and Dave Michaels, where you stay anonymous. The criminals don't. If you have any information on these or any other crimes, call our national tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS. Well, you'll stay anonymous and could get a cash reward. You can see this or any other episode of Crime Reports and Rewards on the web anytime at crimereportsandrewards.com. Crime Reports and Rewards is a production of Michaels Media.